Hello and welcome to another Get Good at Business podcast. I am your host and business coach, Taylor Proctor, here to help you get good at business so you can get back into the heart of why you got into business in the first place. And we love to do these episodes and these interviews with incredible business owners because I believe and we believe that it is important to learn from other business owners in different industries at different levels, doing different things, because that is how we can all collectively get good at business. And the way that we like to do that is utilizing the I move method, which stands for intuition, marketing, operations, velocity, and execution. So I am honored today to be joined by the incredible Amy and Nancy Harrington, who are going to pull back the curtain on their business and share how they are utilizing and working within the areas of the I move method. So Amy, Nancy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us. We're really excited to be here.
So Amy and Nancy founded the Passionistas Project out of a desire to empower women everywhere. They walked away from jobs in Hollywood to work together. Amy was the VP of Visual Effects and Post-Production for all the feature films at Warner Brothers and working on movies like Harry Potter. Has anybody heard of that one before? The Matrix and Batman. Nancy left the ad agency where she created Oscar campaigns for Miramax. Now they use those skills to shine a light on the stories of women. And with their online sisterhood podcast and annual summit, they strive to inspire women to follow their passions. So, ladies, I am delighted that you're here with us today. I love the direction already of your business and your history and your experience. So let's dive in with what inspired you guys to transform from and transition from Hollywood execs, like bigwig careers here, to inspiring women in equally big and impactful ways with the Passionista Project.
Yeah. Well, like our intro said, like you just said, we were in Hollywood. We had entertainment careers, and around the same time, Amy and I both felt like these careers have been thrilling, but we need a new adventure. And most importantly, we wanted to do it together. So we came to this conclusion and then quit our jobs at the same time. And we didn't really know what we were going to do. So it was a long and winding road for us, but we knew we wanted to do it together because we couldn't trust anyone more in the world than we did with each other. So um, we landed in the world of celebrity interviewing. So we have, for the past 15 years or so, interviewed celebrities. And and then around 2016, 2017, the Me Too movement was in full force, and we were hearing all these stories of women who were being victimized. And we wanted to turn the tables and use the skills we had acquired doing celebrity interviews to tell the stories of empowered women.
Mm.
So we wanted to share the positive stories and the beautiful things and the great things that all of these women were doing, and the women who don't get the spotlight ordinarily. So that's when we started our podcast, the Passionistas Project, and that has grown into what we launched this year, which is an online sisterhood where women can come and they can get what we've heard from people through the years is that they wish they had what we have. They wish they had the sister, the person they could work with, person they could rely on, the person that they could use as a sounding board and get support. And we thought, well, we know how to do that. So we launched an online community, and it's a beautiful, thriving place where women can come and find like-minded women and get support and find resources and courses and classes. And so we're really proud of it. It's been quite a journey for us.
That is amazing. And it sounds like I'm going to shift us to our I move method here because intuition is our first piece and plays a huge part. And I think, especially women in business, we don't use it as much as we could slash should. And it's a huge superpower. But what I love in your story is that you both felt that intuitive pull. You both felt at the same time, hey, we're ready to take things to another level. We want to do it together. We're not sure what that's going to be. You both quit your jobs at the same time. Like, I think that's such an incredible story of like, yes, following those promptings and being like, it's going to play how it plays, and it's worked so well. So with that said, you obviously have such a diverse community and an incredible business. How do you tap into your intuition separately and together, right? As sisters, as business partners, to really make sure that the Passionistas Project remains inclusive and supportive to helping all women?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I'll say is we're lucky because we always say that we share a brain. And even today, we did an exercise in a mastermind group we're in where we had to do separate assignments and compare them. And it was like, yeah, we said the exact same thing. So our intuition is also very much in tune. And when we did decide to start the Passionistas Project, when we both started to really get into the idea of being interviewers, just we were lucky that we both had that passion to follow those directions. And I think when it comes to tapping into our intuition and keeping the community diverse, I think the natural instinct when you're building a community is to want as many people as you can have in the space. And every time you get a new member, it's exciting and you're growing. But I think what's more important is to let go of the matrices of like how many and how much, and really trust in bringing the right people in. So for us, it's following that gut of like, oh my God, that person didn't want to sign up. But you know what? That's okay. They're not our people. Our people are coming to us and they're finding us. And we just have to trust in the belief that they are on their way if they're not here yet. And follow our intuition in terms of what we're providing to them, and really believing that the content we're creating, whether, because our community is business development, personal growth, and social impact. And we really want to make sure that if someone comes for any one of those three things or all of them, that's there for them. And so I think the other gut thing we have to do is follow our intuition when it comes to the kind of content we're providing, and believe in ourselves that what we are offering them is what they want and need.
Yeah. And I love that too, because I think the name sisterhood says it all, right? We're not just going to invite anybody into the family, right?
Mhm.
We've got to make sure that this family is stable and functional and loving and supportive. And some people might not be the best fit for that. So I love that you guys really tap into your intuition to help grow the sisterhood.
Yeah.
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 So you had mentioned content as it pertains to within the container of your sisterhood program, but also let's move to the M of iMove, which is all about marketing, right? So would you share with us some of the key strategies, whether that's content or something else, that you use to market the Passionistas Project to find the right people for the online sisterhood and for the podcast, your summits, etc.?
Yeah. Yeah, for as far as the podcast, our guests, we have from day one had a thing where we call it nominate a passionista. So everyone that we have as a guest on our podcast, we ask them to nominate another guest. So it's a really wonderful way to meet people we wouldn't have ordinarily met, and also to have an instant connection with somebody rather than cold calling or emailing someone and saying, "Hey, will you be on our podcast?" It's like, "Oh, Julie recommended that we talk to you. Oh, I love Julie. Yes, I'll be on your podcast." So it's fabulous. And then as far as content marketing, we do all the socials, we do all the stuff. The one thing we've landed on this year, which has been really fun and successful for us, is we do a weekly series called Sis Tips. And it's a video series where Amy and I talk about building unbreakable bonds by through the tenets of sisterhood. So we do these funny little videos. They're really goofy. It's just us being silly and our authentic sister selves, and people have really latched onto them. So it's been fun to get the reaction from those, and also to make them. They're really fun. We have usually have college interns and they help us do them, and it's a lot of fun for them and fun for us. So yeah, I mean, I have a marketing background. That's what I studied in college, was advertising and marketing many years ago. And marketing is very different now than it was back then, but so I have again the intuition and the instincts of sort of knowing what works and what doesn't, and so yeah, we do all the socials and we pull clips from all of our We're not short of content. We have lots and lots of content. We've done 165 podcast interviews now, I think, and just amazing women. So we constantly have clips to surface and things like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Love that too. The takeaway that I'm getting from this for our audience as well is this: have fun,
Mhm.
be authentic, be the real you. Don't try to show up in a certain way, right? And to also utilize your network, right? That referral process and those kind of things. But you
Yeah.
also mentioned college interns. You mentioned you have so much content you're repurposing and you're creating clips and all of those things. That obviously is a lot of operational support and processes, which is the O of the I move method. So, what systems and processes have you implemented really behind the scenes to ensure that your members have that seamless and incredible experience and your business is able to market itself for the Passionistas Project?
Yeah, I mean, I think the interns for us, because we're a two-woman operation, so when we get these interns every semester, or sometimes they'll stay on for a whole year, that's been really great. We unleash them on editing the podcast, doing the transcripts and show notes, and helping us with marketing materials, because they know way more about how to use Instagram than we do. So we unleash them on all that stuff. In terms of the sisterhood, we're on a platform called Circle.
Mhm.
We decided not to build our own platform, but to build within this existing structure that's almost like having our own little mini Facebook without cat memes and what people had for lunch. And so it's been fantastic. We went from thinking it was going to take us a year or two to build out a system to like, oh, we can have our community built in a week. So that was really great. And it also just gives us the opportunity to build courses within the sisterhood. So we have a lot of multi-week courses that we've done 3 already. We have 2 more to come, 3 more to come this year. And they take you through following your intuition, letting go of perfectionism, and finding your purpose, all the way through to, now that I know what my purpose is, how do I execute it and do my ideal calendar and my 12-week year. So the system of Circle in and of itself has allowed us to really organize our content well and have spaces for our resident experts, our power passionistas, who are the women that really provide the content. And without that existing infrastructure, we would have been dead in the water. So just to find a space like that and really be able to build upon it and make it our own and make it feel like, give it the personality ourselves, has been invaluable.
I love that. And I'm familiar with Circle and have loved anytime I've been on there. You can brand it, it is so good to have that structure. And I love that you said what we thought would take us a year or longer, we were able to get done in like 2 weeks. And I think that's such a great component and segue into our velocity category, which is the V of the I move method, is utilizing those tools, the delegation, all of those pieces in your operation to add velocity to the business. What other ways have you found effective for maintaining that momentum that you guys are building while still staying true to your mission and your values?
My favorite new tool is called Opus Clips. And you bring the podcast into Opus Clips and you push a button and you walk away, and 10 minutes later you come back and it has pulled 30 clips for you. And it writes the post and the hashtags and schedules it.
And
It,
captions.
and captions. It's literally saves days of work. Yep. And so yeah, I'm a big fan of the robots. I have to say, I was I was reticent in the beginning, but we did an exercise this morning that Amy was talking about, where it's like, write this sentence and put it in Chat GBT, and it's gonna spit out a marketing plan for you. And it's like, really? And it does, and it's accurate and it's good. So I was like I said, I railed against it for a little while, but I strongly encourage using all of the tools that are out there at our disposal to save time, because it's really important when you're a solopreneur, duopreneur, like we are.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm like you, I have a background in marketing. And when AI chat GPT first came out, I was like, this is garbage. Why does everybody like this is not great? And I think the prompts that you put in really come from experience of being like, I know what to ask to get the quality of what I want. But way back when it first came out, I was like, I'm typing in stuff and it does not understand what I'm asking. And so I had totally written it off. And then my husband came home and was like, have you seen this? And I'm like, yeah, it's garbage. And he was like, it was like 6 months later. And he was like, no, try now. And I'm like, oh, this is incredible. So I love that I was also like, "What? I'm not about this." And
It felt
as
like cheating. It felt, we're good Catholic schoolgirls. It felt like cheating to us. Like we didn't, but it's so useful and so helpful. And yeah, it improves exponentially. Like every time you go there, it's better.
yeah,
And
And it learns who you are and what you need to do, which is what makes it really scary, but it does like tailor the answers to you as a brand, which
yeah.
is interesting.
well, and what I love too, especially when since you mentioned cheating, Nancy, is that I use it for videos, and
Mhm.
that's in my tone and voice, it's in your tone and voice. And so it's not cheating, it's taking what you're already saying, your tone and voice, and making it succinct and taking 10 hours worth of work and doing it in 10 minutes, which I totally love. So I think that's such a huge velocity component, and I love that you guys brought that up as one of the tools and the strategies that you use to add velocity to your business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's bring things home with the E of the I move method, which is all about execution. So share with us the big project, the initiative that you are currently focusing on.
Mhm.
So we're always looking to build the sisterhood, the online community, and always welcoming women from all backgrounds and gender non-conforming, non-binary people of all backgrounds to the sisterhood. So that's always going to be an ongoing thing for us. But our big initiative coming up is that we are expanding our Power Passionistas program. So we are bringing on more of resident experts. We're opening up more slots for women who want to become experts within our community. And as part of that, we also are doing a storyteller workshop, because so much of our past careers and what we do now in doing interviews is really helping people tell their own unfiltered story. So we are doing a workshop where we are working, it's a 6-week course. And unlike a lot of writing workshops where you kind of are learning the traditional rules, we're actually building it on the basis of being interviewed. So in the second week of the workshop, we will interview you and we will help you just define what your story is and give you those tools so that you can then use those to write what will be a chapter in a book that we're creating. Um, and also, the last week is to take that and transform it into an oral presentation that will go into a summit, because we do an annual Women's Equality Summit. So you get to take the workshop, you can, write the chapter for the book, which will be in print and digital. You get to be a part of the workshop. We will record the video with you, so you're in a safe, technically sound place where you get this video at the end. And certain people will be allowed to also become Power Passionistas if they fit the vibe of the community, and they have something to offer that they feel is in sync with what they do and what we do. So we're really, really excited about it. We feel like it's going to add a lot of value, and it's also going to help a lot of people who are shy or unsure how to start to learn how to tell their own story in a more natural and just organic way, because they're just going to be talking to us and getting it out there. So
Oh, that's incredible. So for our female listeners and audience who are interested in learning more about that, more about the summit, more about the sisterhood, where can they go to learn more about the two of you and the Passionistas Project?
You can go to thepassionistasproject.com/membership, and you can find out all about everything we do.
Excellent. Well, Amy, Nancy, thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate your candidness and your pulling back the curtain on your business. Love that you brought up AI and tooling and all of these things and Circle, because I think that is so helpful for our audience as they're looking to grow out communities or utilize more technological tools to get velocity in their business, right? That's so huge. So thank you so much for coming on the show, for being a part of the Get Good at Business community. And thank you again for being on.
Thanks for having us.
So much
It's
for
been a
having
pleasure.
us.
So for those of you watching and listening, be sure to stay tuned. We will have more Get Good at Business highlights with other incredible business owners helping you get good at business here in the near future. So stay tuned and make sure in the meantime that you remember that we can get good at business together.